Welcome back to Target Field here on this Memorial Day. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy with you, and Garen Austin. The Red Sox and Twins begin a 3-game series as they're recognizing some of the fallen soldiers here in Minnesota on the big screen here in left center field. The fans standing here at the moment as we get ready for our national anthem. As the Red Sox got here last night after finishing up their homestand to begin this 3-game series against the Minnesota Twins on this very special day.
We are honored to have Don's wife of 65 years and 4 of the 5 Brockle children with us at the game today. Singing our national anthem today, please welcome the Worthington High School Choir under the direction of Carrie Johnson.
On this Memorial Day, the Red Sox and Twins, with more coming your way right after this. It's game one of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Twins. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. And Jerry, the Red Sox finished up the homestand very well. A couple of key contributors yesterday.
Yeah, the nice thing about it, Don, is the Red Sox showing signs of life offensively, and it's basically because of 2 players right now that have had an excellent homestand. First of all, Mike Napoli, the last 5 games that he's played, last 6 games, the .429 average with 5 home runs and 10 RBIs. And you see career versus Minnesota, 7 home runs and 20 RBIs. RBIs. And Xander Bogaerts right now on a 7-game history, a .440 average through that streak with a home run and 3 RBIs, .290 on the season, which has really come up a long way over the last couple of weeks. And if we can get a couple of more guys hot like they are right now, the Red Sox are prepared to score a lot of runs.
Now the Red Sox beginning this road trip here in Minnesota, where Joe Kelly will be on the mound today for Boston. Game 1 is coming your way next from Minneapolis. Audi. Experience the new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's Twins territory, and it's the Red Sox and Twins in the first of 3 games as the Red Sox get ready to begin this road trip that takes them to Minnesota and to Texas. Before we go any further today, let's send it down to Garen Austin at field level. Garen?
Hey, thanks, Don. You know, earlier today, manager John Farrell said these past 2 wins could mean that things are turning around. Now back in the AL East, he said that they've been executing more offensively, but Farrell gave credit to the strong starts of Stephen Wright and Wade Miley.
The last couple of days, we've executed much more consistently offensively, whether that's been using the whole field with runners in scoring position or doing some of the smaller things inside the game. But I think more than anything, you point to the 2 starts that we've gotten from Stephen Wright and Wade Miley as a primary reason to allow this offense to get on track, keep a game in check. Even in the night when Stephen got behind early in that ball game, we battled back and finished some things off late. So the last 2 days have definitely been more encouraging with our overall capability.
That's certainly very encouraging on Wade Miley's part, Jerry. That's 3 straight very good outings.
Yeah, he's been pitching very, very well. Of course, yesterday was another very good ball game for the Red Sox where the combination of everything came together. The pitching, the defense, the offense, it all came together. It was almost the perfect game for the Red Sox in a good way to leave Fenway Park and get started on this 7-game road trip. And we start off with a team like Minnesota that's playing very good baseball right now. They have improved in almost every category of the ball game. You know, offensively, pitching-wise, especially out of the bullpen. They're playing very decent defense and just a team to be reckoned with. And they're only 3 games behind the Kansas City Royals in the Central Division.
Yeah, they have certainly been a bit of a surprise. We'll certainly talk about that. But the Red Sox right now, after the victory yesterday in the American League East, find themselves 2 games back of the Tampa Bay Rays, while the Yankees all of a sudden are reeling. They have lost their last 6 straight and 9 of their last 10. as the Rangers went in there and swept the Yankees over the weekend. So the Red Sox here moving back within 2.5 of the Tampa Bay Rays. And you're talking about the Central and how well the Twins have really done this season. You hear so much about Detroit, you hear so much about Kansas City, but all of a sudden now Minnesota finds themselves tied with the Tigers, 3 games back at the Royals with 25 wins and 18 losses. So Paul Molitor's team really responding to him here in his first year, and they have been quite a surprise so far to begin this season. Of course, Paul Molitor, one of 2 Hall of Famers that are current managers now in the majors, along with Ryan Sandberg. And Molitor here in his first year, very well received after Ron Gardenhire had been here for a number of years. But they're kind of playing the game, as you mentioned in the View from the Booth earlier, the way Paul Molitor tried to play the game.
Yeah, he was the type of guy that played every single pitch hard in the baseball game, and that's what he's trying to get back with the Minnesota Twins. You know, Gardenhire did it for years and years, but it seemed to become a little bit stale, and that's why they made the moves to Molitor. You didn't know how he was going to react because he never managed before, but the fact is it's going very well for him.
Well, the Twins take the field today. And as they do, let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Leading it off and at second base, Dustin Pedroia with Mookie Betts in center field batting second. Big Poppy, David Ortiz, the DH, with Hanley Ramirez in left field in the cleanup spot. Pablo Sandoval back in the starting lineup. He is at third base with Mike Napoli at first base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop at seventh with Daniel Nava getting the start at right field batting eighth, and Blake Swihart does the catching for the Red Sox. And the return of the Panda, largely because of that great numbers you saw there against Ricky Nolasco. And it is Nolasco who's on the mound today as the Twins starting pitcher, presented by New England Nissan dealers. His 6th start of the year, 4-1, but a higher earned run average. He's had plenty of run support this year, 6.00 ERA, 22 strikeouts, 10 walks, and opponents are hitting a very high 337 against Nolasco. He did beat the Pirates last time out, 5 2/3, scattering 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned with 8 strikeouts along the way.
Well, the Twins defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 7th in the league with 26 errors in 43 games. Trevor Plouffe will be at third base, Eduardo Escobar the shortstop, Brian Dozier at second, and Joe Mauer the first baseman. Left to right, Eddie Rosario, Aaron Hicks, and Torrey Hunter back with the Minnesota Twins. Kurt Suzuki doing the catching for Nolasco.
Well, the umpiring crew here today, C.B. Bucknor has the play calling the balls and strikes with Lance Barrett at first base. It is Dale Scott, the crew chief, at second base, and Dan Iasonia, the Connecticut native, at third base. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Conditions here today, 66 degrees to get it started. Breeze in from right at 14 miles per hour. And the forecast cloudy, which is a good thing right now because there was rain in the forecast originally when we arrived here last night. So far so good. There are some ominous clouds above, and we do begin under cloud cover, but precipitation free. As Ricky Nolasco out there about ready to throw the first pitch of the contest with Dustin Pedroia standing in, and the first pitch of the game is in the air but foul. Out ahead was Pedroia jumping on that first pitch. Dustin at 281 with 5 homers and 17 runs batted in. Pedroia finished up the homestand going 8 for 26 and is now leading off for the 3rd straight game. Liner to center field, and that's in for a base hit to get it started.
Well, Dustin Pedroia now with a 5-game hitting streak, as you mentioned, Don, and he takes that fastball that's down in the zone and takes it up the middle for the base hit. So the little flip in the lineup of Pedroia and Betts has made a big difference for the Red Sox.
Here's Mookie batting in the 2 spot at 233 with 5 homers and 24 runs batted in. What a great homestand, as he was 8 for 27 on the homestand, hitting at 296 and hitting safely in 5 of those games, striking out only twice during the homestand for the Red Sox.
I think Mookie that time trying to bunt for a base hit down the third base line. Certainly would be a surprise if the Red Sox were sacrificing here in the first inning.
Half-hearted swing there, kind of changed his mind in the middle, and is down 0-2.
And you're going to see a lot of that today from Nolasco. A lot of breaking pitches.
that he throws in the course of a ball game. He's not overpowering with the fastball, but he will throw a lot of curveballs and sliders.
There's the breakdown for him. His arsenal: 53% fastballs, 42 breaking balls, and 5% changeups. There's a curveball, and it is grounded softly down the first baseline. Nobody is covering, and Betts will get on. How about that? Bauer picked it up and was about to turn and make the easy toss to first. Only nobody covered first.
Brain cramp by the second baseman Dozier right there, as he didn't get over to cover first base. You can see him. He's in a double play position, and he actually really didn't have time to get over and cover first base. Mookie Betts almost like a push punt down the first base line. Mauer looks up. He's already by him. He looks to first base. Nobody home. Red Sox got something going in the first.
Base hit, the ruling for Mookie Betts. Red Sox have the first two on here for David Ortiz, the former Minnesota Twin, who always seems to do well against his old club. And here he is returning to Minnesota. As David will take ball one. 227 with 6 homers and 17 runs batted in. David had a very quiet series against the Angels, going just 1 for 13. And the Twins not opting to shift here against David. As he lifts it in the air out to left center field. Hicks and Rosario. It'll be Rosario, the left fielder, who makes the catch. No advance for the base runners, and Ortiz out number 1 of the first inning.
David out on his front foot that time. It was a changeup from Nolasco, and it kind of fooled Ortiz. Had all his weight going on the right leg, and the result, a little pop up to left field.
There's Hanley Ramirez at 263, 10 homers and 22 runs batted in. On the ground left side, Plouffe will go to second base for one. Close there and close at first, but a double play. Around the horn they go. A promising inning for the Red Sox goes by the boards. Twins are coming up. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first inning, and the Minnesota Twins coming up here to face Joe Kelly. Red Sox had a bit of a threat going there, but could not convert for a run. And let's take a look at the Red Sox starting pitcher. It's brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. Joe Kelly's 9th start of the year comes in at 1-3 with a 5.13 earned run average, 43 strikeouts and 19 walks. And opponents hitting at 239 against Joe Kelly. And Dozier leading it off here for the Twins in the bottom of the first inning. This is line down the left field line, and a fair ball in trouble. To the corner it goes. And the Ramirez over to dig it out. Dozier is thinking about 3, but he pulls it up at 2. Rounding second base, and a good start to the bottom of the first inning from Minnesota.
Yeah, Dozier's a guy that can surprise you. I mean, he's a leadoff man, but he has 9 home runs on the season. He jumps on that first fastball that's inside, and Hanley gets tied up down in the corner. Dozier was thinking about 3, but stops at second base with nobody out. Hustling right out of the batter's box. He takes a peek at Hanley Ramirez and thinking about 3, but puts on the brakes.
698 slugging percentage last couple of weeks, 11th highest in Major League Baseball. He's at second base, and the return of Torrey Hunter to the Twins. Longtime Minnesota Twin. Of course, we saw plenty of Torrey during spring training, where the Red Sox see plenty of the Twins during spring training. 281 so far, 7 homers, 26 runs batted in. So he's had a very good return here to Minnesota. And he'll take the strike. Fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, they say he's really become a leader, too, in this clubhouse for the Twins. A team that's a fairly young team and really didn't have a veteran presence with the exception of Joe Mauer. Torrey Hunter certainly brings that.
Big swing and a miss there. And a ball and 2 strikes down for Torrey Hunter.
Good slider there by Joe Kelly, going down and away from Torrey Hunter as we look at his numbers in scoring position.
Brian Dozier with a leadoff double to begin the bottom of the first inning. Evens up at 2-2, back to the 95-mile-an-hour fastball for Joe Kelly.
Last couple of games, Kelly has been starting out by being somewhere between 93 and 95, and that velocity has seemed to increase as the game has gone on. There you see the breakdown for Joe Kelly. Almost 70% fastballs.
9th start of the season today, 5th away from Fenway Park. Last 2 starts, a 2.03 ERA, and he just misses there. And Kelly wanted that full count.
That's a pitch he wants to have right there, that ball down and away. But Stevie Buckner not seeing it that way.
Joe Kelly has never faced Minnesota. So Joe Mauer waiting on deck. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Pickoff play at second base, but back to the bag safely is Dozier.
Yeah, Dozier needs attention. He's got 3 steals on the season, caught 1 time. That time getting the attention from Xander Bogaerts. Very quick spin move by Joe Kelly, but not quite in time to get Dozier.
On the ground, right side, diving as Pedroia gets up and throws out Torrey Hunter. On to third goes Brian Dozier. And you see Torrey Hunter trying to go the other way there to get the runner over and almost got himself a base hit, if not for the very good defensive play by Pedroia.
Job well done by Torrey Hunter as he does the job by getting the man at third base. And there's Pedroia again saving a run, diving to his left. Able to get the out at first base, but Hunter does get the job done.
So 1 out, a runner at third, and Joe Mauer coming up. 274 with a home run, 25 runs batted in for Mauer. He's now played in 43 of the 44 Twins games this season. And a foul off to the left for strike 1.
Yeah, the Red Sox really shade him to the opposite field. Mookie Betts way over toward left field, and you can see Hanley Ramirez very close to the line. A big gap down that right field line. Of course, Mauer does not pull the ball very much.
So used to seeing Joe Mauer hitting at 300. He comes in hitting at 274. His career average is 318. Among actives, only second to Miguel Cabrera, who hits at 321. And that one by him at 95 miles an hour.
Red Sox playing the infield back here early in the ball game, not thinking that one run is going to beat him in this ball game.
Plenty of Mauer shirts here in Minnesota, all the way around this beautiful Target Field. Fly ball headed out towards left center field. Mookie Betts having to go back. As Betts will make the catch, here comes Dozier. The throw plateward will not be in time, and it gets away. So the Twins strike first, take a 1-0 lead on the sac fly by Joe Mauer that scores Brian Dozier. So the Twins have struck first. As we check out their lineup, it's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Brian Dozier led it off at second base. Torrey Hunter in right. Joe Mauer at first base. Trevor Plouffe about to come up as the third baseman with Kurt Suzuki doing the catching. Eduardo Escobar at shortstop. Eduardo Nunez is the DH. As it is Rosario in left field and Hicks in center to round out the starting nine for the Twins. And here is Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe, a 265 average, 6 homers and 22 runs batted in. Since the beginning of last year, he's hit an even 300. And now a liner that gets into right center field for a base hit.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 5th in the league at 24 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts to shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli at first. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Daniel Nava. Blake Swihart doing the catching for Joe Kelly.
2 down, Trevor Plouffe at first base, and it brings up Kurt Suzuki, the veteran catcher. 231 with 2 homers and 12 runs batted in. Guy who likes to play every day. Currently tied for 4th in the American League with 34 starts behind the plate. He was an all-star last year for the Minnesota Twins. He and Clint Perkins both. Joe Kelly has surrendered the game's first run here in the first inning. Suzuki gets the arms out of the way, and that 95-mile-an-hour fastball misses inside.
Start the game, Suzuki is the only guy that has ever faced Joe Kelly. He's 0 for 1 in his career against Kelly.
One is going to miss away for ball 2. The center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center, and there's all kinds of room out there in left center. Big yard out there in left center, jumps out to 411 in the power alley in left center. Popped up into shallow right center field. Over comes Nava from right, but it'll be Betts who steps in front of him to make the catch. A leadoff double by Dozier turns into a sac fly for Joe Mauer and a 1-0 Twins lead. But only one will earn the grand prize of $20,000. Find out who is crowned Nesson next producer tonight at 6. Now the return of Pablo Sandoval into the Red Sox order today. Pablo, a couple of pinch hitting appearances, but his first start back at third base. And dealing with the right-hander in Ricky Nolasco, who will pop it up as the catcher, Suzuki, discards the mask and makes the catch about halfway to the mound for the first out of the second inning. Sandoval retired on a pop-up. Mike Napoli coming up, and of course the long home run yesterday from Mike Napoli. His bat has certainly come alive for the Red Sox. So much so that he kissed the bat yesterday of that blast into center field. With more, we send it down to Garrett Austin.
Hey, thanks, Don. You know, Mike Napoli said that sometimes there are kids in the dugout, and he asks them to sign his bat just because it's fun to see how excited they get when he asks for their autograph. Well, the other day, Napoli had a young boy named Ethan sign his bat, and after he got a home run exactly where Ethan had signed it, that's when he kissed the bat. Don, Jerry, it seems like it's been bringing him some pretty good luck.
Yeah, no doubt about it. His bat is certainly woken up, and this is out to center field, and that'll drop in for a hit. Aaron Hicks over to play it, but a one-out base hit here for Mike Napoli.
Well, one thing that's happened with Napoli through this streak is he's seeing more pitches middle in. You know, for a while, everything to Napoli was away. Fastballs, breaking balls, they were elevating the fastball, and he was having problems. But right now, it seems that everything has been middle into Napoli, and he's jumping all over it. They want to go inside with the fastball. They do. But that time, he's able to muscle the ball out to center field for the base hit.
1 out, 1 on, and Xander Bogaerts, the batter, knocked down by Suzuki, but lost it momentarily. Red Sox had a terrific opportunity to begin this game. Runners at first and second, nobody out, but David Ortiz popped out, then Hanley Ramirez grounded into the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. Now they have a one-out base runner here in the second. Drop in there for a strike, 1-1.
There's that slider right there. And again, you know, in fastball counts today from Nolasco, you're going to see a lot of breaking balls. And there's a balk. He was on the mound, and there's the breaking ball right there. And it dropped the baseball, so that's a balk. And Napoli goes into second base.
Down to scoring position with one down here in the second inning.
Take one more look at the balk on Nolasco's part as he is standing on the rubber. He just drops the baseball. So when you do that, that's a balk.
Xander coming off a very good series against the Angels, going 6 for 12 in the series. How about the homestand? 10 for 22. And riding a 6-game hitting streak coming in has Napoli at second base. And a pitch outside for ball 2. Sun trying to make its presence here today, poking through the clouds. The Red Sox and Twins playing under mostly cloudy conditions right now. Bogaerts to right field down the line, and Torrey Hunter over towards the stands. Hunter leaps and is not able to make the catch. Almost did, though, leaning in a couple rows.
He had it timed very nicely because it was hit high enough where he could get over to the stands and judge his jump. There's the leap and just missing the glove of Torrey Hunter. Because once you reach into the stands like that, it's fair game. There can be no fan interference called.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Xander Bogaerts with 1 out. And Nolasco has slowed his pace here, the runner at second base. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Bogarts goes down swinging. First strikeout for Ricky Nolasco. 2 down. They'll get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down, Napoli in scoring position, and here is Daniel Nava getting the start in right field. The numbers against the Twins for Nava, hitting at .407 in 9 games previously against Minnesota. Now bounce in for ball 1. Troubles at the plate have continued for Nava. He's hitting .167 against right-handers. And overall .167 against lefties as well. Has been better with runners in scoring position this year, hitting at .294. And has Napoli at second base with 2 down in the inning. Called the ball. And it's now 2-0.
And Nolasco can't believe it. He thought he had the outside corner on that fastball, one of the rare fastballs that he'll throw.
Blake Swihart batting out of the number 9 spot for Boston, waiting on deck. .3-0.
I would give Nava the green light. I know he's struggling. I know the average is below 200. But with Swihart on deck, man in scoring position, I would give Nava the green light.
And he takes strike 1 right down the middle. 3-1.
And that's the reason I said that, because I'm quite confident he was going to see a fastball on that 3-0 count.
On the ground, foul, and a full count now. Mulder's Minnesota Twins 3 games back of the Royals to begin the day. And Kansas City getting beaten up today by the Yankees here in the 4th inning with New York on top 11-0. Yankees, who had gone into that game having lost 6 straight games and lost again last night to Texas, swept by the Rangers over the weekend. And now Nolasco is calling out Suzuki. They've done a lot of talking here so far in this game. Well, today's suits are designed by Joseph Aboud, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. 2 down in the 2nd inning. Napoli at second base. Twins on top, 1-0. Nava lifts it to shallow left center field. Aaron Hicks coming in. He dives to make the catch. Just a flare out there, and Aaron Hicks runs it down to make the grab to end the inning. Red Sox leave Napoli in scoring position, trail 1-0.
Hicks the reason this is still a 1-0 ball game. Tremendous play in center field on a bloop by Daniel Nava.
Eduardo Escobar leading it off here for the Twins in the bottom of the second inning. As Joe Kelly gave up a run in the first. And this one line foul back into the seats. 237 with 2 homers and 16 runs batted in for Escobar. Hitting at .353 at home is Escobar coming in. He'll be followed by Nunez and Rosario here in the second inning. 6, 7, and 8 for Minnesota. A jam there and flips it down the left field line. Hanley Ramirez not going to get there. Drops in for a base hit. Not hit hard, but well placed. And a leadoff single for Escobar to open up the bottom of the second inning.
Now the bloop doesn't fall for the Red Sox, but the bloop falls for the Twins. A very late swing right here, and actually got inside on him. And just bloops it right down that left field line from where Ramirez is playing, which is always very deep. There's no chance for him to get to that ball. And the leadoff man on here in the second inning.
1 out, nobody out. Eduardo Nunez now the batter. The former New York Yankee standing in. DH today at .370. The home run, 3 runs batted in. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Escobar.
Escobar with 1 steal on the season has not been caught.
Nunez, who can play short, he's played third, 28 games in the outfield, a DH, played at second base, very versatile for Paul Molitor as Kelly gets a strike over on the outside corner. Set safely in 7 of his last 10 games. Napoli holding on Escobar at first base here to begin the bottom of the second inning. Down the third base line and out of the reach of Sandoval. Heading for third base, Escobar, as Ramirez has trouble. They're going to try to score him. The throw to the plate is going to be up the line, and the Twins take a 2-0 lead as Nunez takes third base. Aggressively, with nobody out, able to score Escobar. I thought for sure they'd hold him up at third base, especially when Hanley had the ball in his hand, but they elect to try to get him in, and they do. And Minnesota takes a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I mean, you got to start seeing more and more of it. Teams are going to take off on Hanley Ramirez because when he picks the baseball up, it takes him a while to get into a throwing position. And the word is getting around a little bit. I see the bounce right over Sandoval's head. And when Ramirez picks the ball up, it's almost like he's surprised that they're going. There he picks it up. He takes a peek around. He looked towards second base first, and then there's nobody in the cutoff position. So the throw goes awry, and that allows the man to go to third base.
Infield in all the way around as the first pitch misses here to Eddie Rosario.
Take one more look at that throw from Hanley Ramirez as it just gets over everybody's head, and Blake Swihart had no chance at the plate, drops the ball, and a man ends up at third base.
Now a fly ball foul off to the left out of play, and it's 1-2. Rosario, the left fielder, totes a .250 average coming in.
Red Sox have the infield in, and you know, a lot of times with nobody out, they will not play contact. Usually it's with 1 out, but they may do it because they're working toward the bottom of the batting order.
Fights it off, foul, still 1-2. Rosario called up on May 4th. Sports can bring you to the edge of your seat and to your feet. It should always bring you to NESN.com, the region's #1 sports site. The video and podcast found only at NESN.com. There's a grounder foul. 2 strikes to Rosario. He bets over towards left center. Gap out there in right center field. Popped up, foul off to the left. That'll get back into the seats. Red Sox fan coming over at that foul ball. Reaches out and hooks it into right field for a base hit. From third comes Nunez. And the Twins take a 3-0 lead against Joe Kelly and the Red Sox. What a bat there for Rosario. He stayed with it and gets himself an RBI single.
He had some pretty tough pitch, too. It looked like a changeup from Joe Kelly that was running away from him. That ball's about 6 inches outside, and somehow he's able to reach out and hook that ball into right field for the base hit. Things not starting very well for the Red Sox at all.
And it started with the offensive opportunity that they could not convert in the first inning. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And the power part of the order coming up, and they couldn't do anything as it turned out. Ortiz flied out to left, and then Hanley Ramirez bouncing into the 5-4-3 double play. Twins right away get a run off Kelly in the bottom of the first, and 2 so far here in the bottom of the second.
I'll tell you, if I was managing against the Red Sox right now, I'd keep the pressure on. You get 3 runs in the ball game. I try a little hit and run, straight out steal.
Aaron Hicks, a number 9 man. Pablo Sandoval in on the grass at third base. Runner goes, and here's a ground ball up the middle and away from Pedroia. Couldn't get it. Heading for third is Rosario, and it's first and third, and they do keep the pressure on.
Exactly what I was talking about, Don. You get a team down, early, and it's Marlins' style of play. That's the way he played the game. And you get them in a little bit of a funk early. You've got to try to keep the pressure on, and they do. Very first pitch, they try the hit and run. It's successful, and all of a sudden you get a first and third. You still got nobody out.
On the top of the order, Brian Dozier, who started the bottom of the first inning by doubling to left field. Came around to score Minnesota's first run. Kelly coming in individually at 1-3 with a 5.13 earned run average. His 9th start of the year. In the dirt, gathered by Swihart.
Swihart expecting the breaking ball. He gets down very low on his knees and able to block that ball, keep him at first and third. Red Sox desperately need a double play right here to stay away from a huge inning.
Broken bat pop up on the left side. Down from third comes Sandoval into foul ground to take care of that. The first out here of the second inning. Joe Kelly needed that. No advance for the base runners. Attention Red Sox Nation, there's a reason why the Boston Red Sox and the rest of America run on Dunkin', because our coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. Dunkin' Donuts coffee started in Boston. It's the #1 coffee in New England. So if you want the best coffee in town, there's only one choice, Dunkin' Donuts. Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. 1 out here in the second inning, 2 runs in, and Twins have runners at first and third for Torrey Hunter. Ground ball left side, softly hit, and Bogarts with 1 play. It's at first and dug out nicely by Napoli on a low throw, and a run scores. Rosario in from third, and Minnesota takes the 4-0 lead.
Well, they got the ground ball, but not hit hard enough to turn a double play. And the only play that Xander Bogaerts had was to go to first base. A nice save at first base here by Napoli. That ball down in the dirt, he's able to pick it and get the out.
So 2 down now. The runner at second base and Aaron Hicks, and here is Joe Mauer. Oh, the sac fly in the first inning, picked up his 26th RBI of the year. Kelly falling behind here 2-0. For his last 10 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. There's Hicks at second base with 2 down here in the second. Flared foul off to the left, and it's 2-1. Check out the new family 4-packs for Red Sox games June 1st through the 3rd as part of this special offer. You can get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for $75. Visit redsox.com/family 4-packs. Buy your tickets today.
Don had paid for the $75 just for the hot dogs and sodas.
Mauer fouls off another, and it evens up at 2-2. Our bats now. The inning continues. Trevor Plouffe waiting on deck. 7 members of the Twins have batted here in the second inning, and so far 3 have scored as Minnesota's jumped out to the 4-0 lead here, and not yet done with the bottom of the second inning. Full count here to Mauer. '40th pitch already for Joe Kelly. And Mauer wastes another, fouling it to the screen. '11th year for Joe Mauer here with the Twins. Tying Kirby Puckett for 4th most in Twins history. Killebrew, Carew, and Herbeck tied for first with 12. As the pitch will miss for ball 4. Mauer headed on down to first base. A 2-out base on balls. First walk allowed by Joe Kelly. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 2 on, 2 down, 3 runs in as Trevor Plouffe stands in his second at bat against Joe Kelly. Singled against him in the first inning. Now 1 of 6 Minnesota hits already in this game. Kelly starts off ahead. Plouffe has hit safely in 26 of the last 32 games. 58 home runs since the start of 2012. It's the most among active Twins. And so far this year, 6 home runs for Trevor Plouffe. 2-1.
And Joe Kelly right now having some difficulty with his breaking ball. Has really become a fastball pitcher to this point in the game, and they've hit some good fastballs off him.
Carwillis set it here, thought towards the phone. Nobody warming yet in the Red Sox pen, as it's now 3-1. Now John Farrell's on the phone. And there is stirring in the Red Sox pen. Finally somebody getting up. Strike called. Barnes up in the pen. That's his second warm-up toss out there. Just did get up. It's at second, Maurer at first with 2 outs. They will be in motion here in the 3-2. And it's slap foul off to the right.
You see in that pitch sequence too, everything in this at bat away from Trevor Plouffe. Fastballs, breaking balls, all the way. Reaching out and spoiling a pretty good pitch right there.
Paul Molitor's Twins out to the 4-0 advantage. A run in the first 3 so far here in the second. Foul again, off to the right, out of play. Now Plouffe will see an 8th pitch in this at bat.
I wonder if he'll try to sneak a fastball by him inside after all these pitches away.
Pitching line for Joe Kelly, brought to you by Ace Ticket. Inning in 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs. Walk and no strikeouts. Pitch 49 coming up. Fly ball to deep left. Ramirez going back, turns around and watches that go. A 3-run home run for Trevor Plouffe and a 7-0 Minnesota lead. Today is not Joe Kelly's day.
Well, he tried the slider after everything being away, fastballs and breaking balls. He goes to the breaking ball, and you can see where the pitches all are away from him. Watch this last pitch now on a breaking ball. Stays out over the plate, down, and Trevor Plouffe with the big home run. Wow, this has happened quickly.
7th home run of the year for Plouffe. And a 7-0 Minnesota lead. Kurt Suzuki will take the strike. Plouffe now 2 for 2 in the game. Tail of the tape, 388 feet. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 now to Kurt Suzuki. On the ground and through into left field, a base hit. Suzuki's first hit of the day, and the Twins have now batted around. And here comes John Farrell. He will make the move here in the second inning. Joe Kelly today last an inning and 2/3, and so far charged with 7 runs. He's responsible for Suzuki at first base. And that is the day for the Red Sox starter in his 9th start of the year. The pitching change from Target Field in Minnesota. USAA. For those who gave everything that we may breathe free, we honor you. Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Uno's, committed to the craft of pizza since 1943. And by the Scion TC. 7-0. The Twins have the lead over the Red Sox. 2 outs here in the second inning. Joe Kelly chased after an inning and 2/3 and 52 pitches. As the Twins enjoy a 7-0 lead, and not gone yet here in the second inning, with runner at first in Suzuki. Eduardo Escobar bats and takes strike one. It's called to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. And Matt Barnes first out of the pen today into the second inning now. 8th appearance, 2-0. The 3.12 earned run average. Barnes allowed a career high 4 runs, 2 earned in a third of an inning. One inherited runner scored. Charged to Rick Porcello Friday against the Angels. And a 5-inning scoreless streak snapped in that game on Friday night. No runs allowed in 5 of 7 games so far for Boston. Escobar, the 10th member of the Twins to bat here in the inning. On the ground up the middle and into center field, just out of the reach of Pedroia. Suzuki stops at second, and the Twins keep it going.
Now Escobar having himself a whole game here in the second inning. He's 2 for 2 in this inning.
Now be sure to follow Nesson on Instagram to see all things behind the scenes this Red Sox season. Follow Nesson at Instagram.com/Nesson. 2 on here with 2 outs, and Eduardo Nunez the batter. He doubled and drove in a run earlier in this inning. Second, still the responsibility of Joe Kelly. In the dirt, and it is a ball and a strike. Second stint of the year here for Barnes with the Red Sox. Called from the Paw Sox on May the 9th. First recall was on the 25th of April. Major league numbers. 2-0 with a 3.57 earned run average, all in relief. Nunez cranks it foul off to the right, out of play. While the Twins are having a big day here, the Yankees having a big day at home today against Kansas City. And the Royals 12-1 today. They're in the 5th inning in New York.
Seattle will be playing Tampa Bay tonight, later on tonight at 6:10. I guess that's 6:10 local time. That will be 7:10 back in Tampa Bay.
On the ground, softly hit. Bogarts charges in, and his throw, there'll be none. Too much speed for Nunez, an infield hit, and the bases are loaded.
Well, when you're having an afternoon like the Twins, you're going to see all kind of hits. Line drive hits, bloop hits, infield hits. We've seen everything so far in this game. Sandoval making his way to the left, but he had no chance at it. The only play was from Bogarts, and he had no chance at first base.
So bases loaded here for Eddie Rosario. He's swinging to the first pitch and sending it foul down the left field line, out of play. Rosario with a single and an RBI earlier in this inning. Twins now have 7 runs on 10 hits. Foul back and below us. Suzuki at third, Escobar at second, Nunez at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. It's been a 6-run inning so far. Joe Kelly still responsible for Suzuki at third base. And a swing and a miss as it got away briefly from Swihart, as that will end the inning. Barnes with the strikeout, but a 6-run inning for the Twins, who take a 7-0 lead through 2. Seven to nothing. The Twins have the lead over the Red Sox. Into the top of the third we go. Ricky Nolasco with a very long wait there as his team put together 6 runs in the bottom of the second. I think Swihart leading it off here for Boston. Red Sox with 3 hits in the game. Pedroia's got a single, Betts a single, and Napoli a single. Swihart at 185 to start the day. To right field, and that's in for a hit for Blake Swihart. Red Sox try to chip away at a 7-run deficit here. Leadoff single to begin the top of the third.
Well, that's all you can tell yourself in the dugout. You know, you're down 7 runs. It's deflating right out of the chute, but it is only the third inning, so you try to come back with a couple, add a few here, and try to make it a ball game. It's a breaking ball right there to Swihart that he hooks into right field for the base hit.
Here is Pedroia with a runner at first, and Dustin will take a pitch for ball 1. Boston-based daily fantasy company DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox, is giving out $300 million in cash prizes. Enter promo code NESSN to play for free. Foul to the screen, evening the count at 1-1. Up the middle into center field, a base hit. And up to second goes Swihart. So the first two Red Sox have reached here on hits to begin the third inning.
Now both hits for Pedroia have come on fastballs, and we mentioned that Nolasco throws a lot of breaking balls. Well, maybe with the lead, he may see a few more fastballs right now, and Pedroia jumps all over it. Came into the game only 2 for 11 against Nolasco, but 2 for 2 so far today.
2 on, nobody out for Mookie Betts, which on an infield hit in the first inning. And the breaking ball in there for strike one. Red Sox leading hitter with runners in scoring position right now. And Swihart at second base, Pedroia at first. And a foul makes it 0-2. Nolasco signing as a free agent with the Minnesota Twins. Working to the big leagues with the Florida Marlins as they were known then back in 2006. Second year now the Twins. Last year 6-12 in his first go around with a 5.38 earned run average. And the benefit of a lot of runs this year, and his record 4-1 with a 6.00 earned run average, and again today gets a lot of runs, 7.
I was stunned when I was looking at the numbers today, and you look first of all at the wins and losses, and you see 4-1. Then you look at the rest of the line and you go, how can he be 4-1?
A lot of help from his friends. Did he go? No. They check with Lance Barrett down there at first base.
Let's take a look and see if Betts does hold up, and to me, he did.
On the ground, foul. We'll do it again, 2-2. David Ortiz waiting on deck with nobody out here in the top half of the third inning. Red Sox trying to chip away a 7-run deficit right now. And a grounder foul again. NESN is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for NESN Clubhouse on select Sundays this season. Visit NESNClubhouse.com and click on Studio Audience to enter your team. Experience includes a pizza party and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be an active part of the studio audience. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Mookie Betts. And a grounder softly in towards shortstop Escobar with one play. It's at first, and he makes it. As the runners move along, Swihart to third and Pedroia to second.
Yeah, he probably had a chance at second base, but the fact is, with this kind of lead, just go to first base. Get it out.
David Ortiz always does well against his old team, the Minnesota Twins, and last year not 1 but 2 home runs on May 13th. David flied out to left field in the first inning. 0 for 1 in the ball game. Red Sox left a man on in the first and a runner in scoring position in the second. This key matchup brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. David 4 for 10 with 3 home runs in his career against Ricky Nolasco. Outside for ball 2. Staying away from Big Papi here so far. Not a shift here, but Dozier backing up a few steps on the outfield grass at second base. They did not shift at all on Ortiz the first time up. Grounded down the first baseline. Mauer will take it to the bag for the out there. Run will score from third. Swihart comes in, and the Red Sox are on the board.
Now for the Lasco, it's success when you keep Ortiz in the ballpark. He's got 3 career home runs against him with a couple of men on base. That time gets the ground ball out and only 1 run scores. Once again, it's the breaking ball. No, excuse me, it's not. It's the fastball that's down and in, and David tops it right down on the first base line.
So Pedroia at third base, 2 down in the inning, and Hanley Ramirez the batter. Pitch outside and blocked by Suzuki. Hanley grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the first inning. Outside again, and it's now 2-0. Ramirez has not recorded an RBI in his last 18 games, second longest such streak of his career. Once won 19 games with the Marlins. Chance here to drive in a run, but a foul tip, 2-1. To right, and a base hit for Hanley Ramirez. From third comes Dustin Pedroia with the second Red Sox run of the day. An RBI single for Hanley Ramirez, and it's now 7-2 Minnesota.
You know, recently Hanley Ramirez has been seeing an awful lot of breaking pitches, and that time he sees a high fastball and takes it to the opposite field. That ball up just under the letters. And able to shoot a line shot to right field to drive in a run. So he does pick up an RBI, his 23rd of the season. Red Sox now trailing by 5.
Runner first with 2 down, and Pablo Sandoval popped out to the catcher first time up. For the 5 home runs Pablo has in a Red Sox uniform have come away from Fenway Park. That's outside, 3-0. The strike is in there, 3-1 at the bottom of the zone. Mike Napoli waiting on deck. Red Sox have gathered a couple of runs here so far in the third. Ramirez takes off as Pablo hits one in the air to left field, sending Rosario back onto the track to make the catch in front of the wall. So Sandoval gives it a ride. Red Sox get 2 runs. It's now 7-2 Minnesota. On this Memorial Day, USAA honors those who gave everything in their service to our country. Baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back in Minneapolis, 7-2. Twins on top of the Red Sox. Red Sox getting 2 back in their half of the 3rd inning. And Matt Barnes back on the mound here dealing with Aaron Hicks out of the number 9 spot. Hicks with a single in the 2nd inning. 1 of 8 hits compiled in the 2nd inning by the Twins. Eighth time the Red Sox have given up 5 runs or more in an inning. That leads the majors.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of bugs around home plate in the pitcher's mound because we've seen hitters swatting away the bugs. We just saw Barnes do the same thing.
On the ground, softly to first base. Napoli waits for it and then tags the bag for the first out of the inning. Calling all foodies, Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson want to hear what your favorite dish at your favorite restaurant is. All you have to do is send a quick video or photo of your meal and share at Dining Playbook on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Make sure to use the hashtag TopNosh. 1 out here in the 3rd inning for Brian Dozier. 1 for 2 in the game, a double and a foul out. Red Sox having to piece this game together now because Joe Kelly lasting just an inning and 2/3. 8 hits, 7 runs. Walked the batter and did not strike anybody out.
And these next few innings to Matt Barnes are absolutely critical. The Red Sox get a couple to make it a 5-run ball game, and he absolutely has to shut down this Minnesota offense right now.
Swing and a miss at a pitch up. Fourth season now in the majors for Dozier. He had 23 home runs last year. Has 9 so far this year as the leadoff man for the Twins. That's now Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. Full count. Barnes came in and gave a back-to-back base hits to Escobar and Nunez before striking out Rosario to win the 2nd inning. And a swing and a miss as Barnes picks up his 2nd strikeout, 2 down in the inning.
Good velocity on that fastball from Barnes as he goes up and away from Dozier to pick up the strikeout. Tough to catch up with that kind of velocity on a high fastball. 97 miles an hour.
So 2 down. Torrey Hunter coming up here, 0 for 2 so far today. Picked up an RBI and his ground out in the 2nd inning. Now a liner into left field. And Ramirez over to play it back on the warning track. Torrey Hunter was thinking about 2, but Ramirez gets it back in quickly, and it's a 2-out base hit for Hunter.
Well, Hunter, of course, getting up there in age, but still the quick bat. Gets the fastball from Barnes right out over the plate, and out in front of it, hooks it hard on a line to Hanley Ramirez out in left field. I thought Hunter was going to try for 2 when he saw Ramirez go for the backhand, but stops at first base and will give Mauer a chance to hit here with 2 outs.
And Mauer takes strike 1 right down the middle at 96 miles an hour. 3rd plate appearance today for Joe Mauer. A sac fly on the first to pick up his 26th RBI of the year, and then walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Ball and a strike now to Mauer. Mauer, of course, from St. Paul, Minnesota. He resides in Fort Myers. First round pick, first overall in 2001. He's been in the big leagues with the Twins since 2004. We're in the Twin Cities. In the air, down the left field line, and foul. Back over the course of Mauer's career, one year he really powered up. That was 2009. He had 28 home runs. Since then, the most he's hit in any season is 11. And 96 RBIs in 2009 as well. And that year hit 365 for the season. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Hunter. The MVP that year in 2009, a 6-time All-Star and a 3-time Gold Glove Award winner. Those seasons he was a catcher, shifting to first base, certainly taking away the wear and tear on his legs. Fly ball hit well to left field. Hanley going back. It's going to be over his head and off the wall. Torrey Hunter will be stopped at third. Throw to second base, and sliding in there with a wall ball double is Joe Mauer. And the Twins have something going with 2 down in the inning.
Now Bauer's showing some opposite field power this time. We mentioned only 1 home run in the season. This one looked like it had a chance. A fastball away. Mauer just goes with it. It goes off the wall in left field. Hanley Ramirez getting it back into second base, trying to get Mauer on that double, but not quite in time.
So now everybody in the starting 9 has at least 1 hit today for the Twins. Trevor Plouffe and Eduardo Escobar already with multi-hit games, and as the Twins bat here in the 3rd inning, they have 12 hits. Trevor Plouffe will foul it off at the plate. He's got 2 hits, a single to center in the first, and then the big blast, a 3-run home run in the 2nd inning. All that was against Joe Kelly. Hunter at third, Mauer at second, 2 down here in the Minnesota 3rd inning. Breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Has not seen the fastball yet from Barnes. A changeup on the first pitch, then the breaking ball on the second pitch.
It'll bounce in, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Breaking ball again that time. The curveball from Barnes, blocked nicely by Swihart. Over the top breaking ball is going to bounce on that left-handed side of the plate.
Plouffe fouling it off to the right, out of play. Still down here 1-2. Well, Barnes got the first 2, and Aaron Hicks to ground out, Brian Dozier to strike out, but then Torrey Hunter with a 2-out single, Joe Mauer with a 2-out double, and it's 2nd and 3rd. And now Barnes has jumped ahead 1-2 of Trevor Plouffe. Swing and a miss. Blew that one by him at 98 miles an hour. So the Twins strand a pair in scoring position, but enjoy a 7-2 lead. together for you days, nights, and doubleheaders. To see why we've been named the #1 SBA lender in New England, visit easternbank.com/smallbiz. As Mike Napoli leads it off and takes a breaking ball for strike one from Ricky Nolasco. Napoli with a single to center field in the second inning. One of 6 Boston hits on the day. Mike Napoli, Xander Bogaerts, Daniel Nava, 6, 7, and 8. Well, the Red Sox here in the 4th inning. 1 point trailed 7-0. Now 7-2 as they get 2 back in the 3rd. Breaking ball fools Napoli, and he's down to the count 1-2.
Got a couple of different types of curveballs, a slow one and a slower one. That was the slower one.
Number hit foul at the plate. Xander Bogaerts, a strikeout victim in the second, waits on deck. The only strikeout so far today for Nolasco. Swing and a miss, and there's the second strikeout for Nolasco. Gets Napoli. 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, both strikeouts have come on breaking balls. The one to Bogaerts back in the 2nd inning, and now the one to Napoli here in the 4th inning. Back to the off-speed stuff to Napoli, and picks up the strikeout.
Bogaerts taking, and he takes a strike right down the middle. 1-1. On the ground by the mound, but right at Dozier at second base. And Xander Bogaerts, the second out of the 4th inning. 0 for 2 so far today is Xander. So 2 outs here is Daniel Nava. Skied out to center field in the second inning. 0 for 1. Move Aaron Hicks over towards right center field. Gap out there in left center for Nava. Strike 2. Nolasco is yet to have a 1-2-3 inning, but here in the 4th has the first 2 outs. Just outside. Nolasco wanted it. Yankees have added on to their lead now on top 14-1 today over Kansas City. They're in the 7th inning in New York. Yankees taking their frustration out on the Royals today after losing their last 6 in a row and 9 of their last 10. Nava strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Nolasco. Red Sox down in order, trailing 7-2. Eastern Bank will be sharing business tips, stories of inspiration, and other ways to make every day a big day for your small business. Celebrate with us at easternbank.com/smallbiz. 7-2. Twins have the lead over the Red Sox. Into the bottom of the fourth inning we go, and Kurt Suzuki leading it off for the Twins. And for 2 days so far for Minnesota's catcher. Flying out to center, singling to left. Now a fly ball to right field. Nava froze for a moment, but now it comes in and takes care of out number one. Today's bowl is presented by the Scion TC. Should Target Field have been built with a retractable roof? Text your answer to 536-536. Sox 1 for yes, Sox 2 for no. Message and data rates may apply. Text help for info and visit NESN.com/terms for the terms and conditions and privacy policy.
Can we vote on this?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no, which is at 100% right now, because we had enough of the Metrodome. And so did the folks here. I remember we came here when they opened this ballpark, and people were so excited to have outside baseball after spending years and years at the Metrodome, where, by the way, they had great success.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say they should have a retractable roof.
Well,
I don't want a dome. I just want a roof, something that rolls across top.
You want something like Seattle.
Yes, and it's raining right now, as a matter of fact, Jerry.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. 1-1 pitch is outside. That's going to the Ponchos here in Minnesota right now. I think she would vote yes for a roof.
It's not raining that hard. I mean, it's sprinkling.
(3-1) and Escobar with a swing and a miss. Orange elevating there and Escobar chasing.
I remember that was the big complaint when they were at the Metrodome, the fact that on nice days people would not come to watch baseball indoors. They wanted to be outside. That was a weird place, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I opened up there the first year it was open. They had no air conditioning in there. It was brutal.
Of course, you had the baggy in right field.
Yeah, it was a real strange place.
Swing and a miss, and Escobar strikes out. It's 4 strikeouts now for Barnes since coming in, and 2 outs here in the 4th inning. It's time now to vote for your Red Sox All-Stars. Support your favorite Red Sox stars by going on redsox.com today to vote. Two down here in the 4th inning. Eduardo Nunez has doubled and singled, driven in a run. Hits in the game for the Minnesota Twins so far. Barnes trying to record the first 1-2-3 inning for a Red Sox pitcher today. Fly ball to left field. Hanley Ramirez to his left. And back to make the catch that ends the inning, and Barnes does have a 1-2-3 inning. Through 4, it's 7-2 Minnesota. Of the 5th inning. Nick Swihart, Red Sox catcher, leading it off here against Ricky Nolasco in a 1-2-3 4th inning. And it deals with strike 1 to Swihart. Nick with a single to right field in the 3rd inning came around to score the Red Sox first run. Arm's doing a nice job since coming into this game, quieting this Minnesota offense, which scored early and often against Joe Kelly. 1 in the 1st and 6 in the 2nd inning. Nolasco's not been going deep into games. His longest outing was his last outing at Pittsburgh. Went 5 2/3 innings in that outing, giving up 10 hits and 4 runs. But that's the longest outing he's had all year. And now working here into the 5th inning.
There's those bugs again.
Swing and a miss, and Swihart down on strikes. Well, 3 of the last 4 batters Nolasco's been able to strike out. 1 down here in the inning. It's time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Red Sox here trailing 7-2 in Minnesota, batting with 1 out of the 5th inning. Dustin Pedroia makes a curveball and grounds it to 3rd base. Trevor Plouffe for the 2nd out of the inning, and now 6 in a row retired by Nolasco. 2 down. So with 2 outs, that'll take us to Mookie Betts. A single in the 1st, grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd. Most wins in any season for Nolasco. As a member of the Marlins back in 2008, he had 15 wins, was 15-8 that year. Last year in his first year in Minnesota, 6-12 in 27 starts. But so far this year, out to a 4-1 mark to begin the year. And today with a 7-2 lead. Strike to Betts evens the count at 1-1. 70th pitch, and a foul off to the right, out of play. 6th career start today against the Red Sox for Nolasco, 2-2, and a 5.08 earned run average. Last start here against the Red Sox, May 13th of last year, ended up with a no decision. Foul again and out of play. Nolasco today trying to get his 100th win of his career. Only 24 active players with 100+ career wins. There are only 4 active players with 200+ career wins. 99 victories since 2006. One of them coming as a member of the Marlins at 8 in his brief stop with the Dodgers, and 10 so far here in a Twins uniform. Betts goes around and strike shots. 5 strikeouts now for Nolasco. Halfway through this one, Minnesota on top 7-2. Night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. On to the home half of the 5th inning. 7-2, Twins on top. A little harder here as this bottom of the 5th inning begins. Eddie Rosario, Aaron Hicks, and Brian Dozier bat in the inning. Barnes with a breaking ball in the dirt. Rosario with a single to right field in the 2nd inning. Struck out swinging also in the 2nd inning. Twins sending 12 men to bat in the 2nd. A liner back where it came from and into center field over the shoulder of Matt Barnes, and a ringing single for Eddie Rosario.
2 for 3 on the afternoon for Rosario. His first hit was on a changeup when he drove in a run. Now a fastball that he takes right back by Barnes for the base hit.
3rd 2-hit game for Rosario of the year.
You want to go inside against Rosario. It stays outside and up the middle as he hooks it for the base hit.
Lead runner on here for Minnesota for Aaron Hicks. Runner goes. Fly ball to right. Nava moving over to make the catch and throwing to first base. Rosario was off, and he'll get back as they try to double him off at first base. Hicks flying out to right for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, still trying to apply pressure. Still a 5-run ball game, and they have the runner off at first base. Rosario, ball hit hard by Hicks, but right at Daniel Nava. Straight out steal that time. No hit and run. Nava trying to double him up at first base, but not in time.
1 out, 1 on for Brian Dozier. His 4th at bat of the day. Doubled back in the 1st inning and scored. Since then has fouled out and struck out.
See Rosario at first base try to run again, because it does take Bonds quite a while to unleash and get that ball to home plate. The thing about that is you got a guy at the plate that's got 9 home runs so far this season in Dozier. I really covered my tracks here, Don.
You got everything covered.
Yeah, I'm calling for a stolen base, but also maybe not, because you got power at the plate.
In their first strike, 2-1. Rosario held on over there by Napoli. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. 1 out here in the 5th inning. And a foul tip held onto by Swihart for strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout for Barnes since coming into the game. We have a national moment of remembrance here on this Memorial Day.
Participate in the national moment of remembrance. As we pause to remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service of our country, we ask that you please join us now in this moment of silence as a collective, unified expression of gratitude to the heroes who lost their lives while protecting the freedoms we enjoy today. Thank you. right fielder.
Send it down to Garrett Austin.
Thanks, Don. Yes, all the players are wearing special jerseys and caps with camouflage in honor of Memorial Day. All the net proceeds of the sale will be donated to Welcome Back Veterans, which provides grants to the university hospitals throughout the country to treat veterans suffering from PSTD and traumatic brain injury. Don, Jerry, MLB has committed $30 million to Welcome Back Veterans.
And the jerseys on today here for both teams. And the hats as well, worn today by both teams. And as Torrey Hunter bats at 2 outs, and Rosario takes off at first. Pitches a swing and a miss, and the throw will be late. Stolen base for Rosario.
That was just a matter of time before he took off, and he waited until 2 were out in the inning to try to get in scoring position for Torrey Hunter. Hunter swinging through the fastball. The throw's going to be a little bit late from Swihart. And Rosario picks up his 3rd steal of the season, has not been caught.
So in scoring position with 2 down. Torrey Hunter down 0-1. And now make it 0-2. There's the uniform and bill of the cap. Recognizing Memorial Day, and all Major League Baseball clubs wearing those special caps and jerseys today. One fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Two outs. Rosario at second base with the Twins on top 7-2. In the dirt, blocked by Swihart. Red Sox have action in their pen. Greg Breslow, the left-hander, up. He's been in the game since the 2nd inning, working here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. On the ground, left side to Bogaerts at shortstop. His throw is high, but Napoli goes up to get it, and that will end the inning. Through 5, it's 7-2 Minnesota. Inning, 6 hits, 2 runs so far. No walks, 5 Ks, 73 pitches. Trying to go the furthest he's gone this season. He's gone 5 2/3 the most. He is into the 6th inning now, and David Ortiz to lead it off. 0 for 2. David has flied to left and grounded out to first base. The ground out last time up produced the Red Sox first run. Pitch high for ball 2. Ortiz, Ramirez, and Sandoval to bat here in the 6th inning. And a grounder right side. Dozier is camped out there in short right. Throws out Ortiz for the first out of the inning. So David 0 for 3 today. Brings up Hanley Ramirez. Hanley has grounded into a 5-4-3 double play, and last time up an RBI single. Getting his 23rd RBI of the year. Red Sox 2 runs coming in the 2nd. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball away that Hanley chases. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Strike 2. First time the Red Sox have faced an American League Central team so far this year. Outside 2-2. In the air to shallow right field. Incoming is Torrey Hunter to make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning.
And a game like today really takes you out of what you've been doing. For example, yesterday, the Red Sox in a game where they could do some things, sacrifice, get the run home with a sacrifice fly. They played long ball, they played small ball. But when you get down by a touchdown early in the ball game, that takes that part of the game away from you. So things they have been doing over the last couple of games, not possible so far today as they trail by 5.
2 down here in the 6th inning, and Pablo Sandoval the batter. Sandoval has popped out and flied out in his return to the starting lineup today. It's jammed and fouls it back and out of play. But tomorrow, an all-new Red Sox report. Relive the reunion of the 1975 Red Sox. Hear James Taylor's debut of Angels of Fenway. Learn about the ballpark's new home run tracker. Catch it all on the Red Sox report tomorrow at 5. Fly ball to left field, sending Rosario back towards the track to make the catch on the base of the warning track. 10 in a row retired by Ricky Nolasco. 7-2 Minnesota. Mexico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary and their 45th game of the 75 season. Red Sox scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th to complete a dramatic comeback and walk off with a win against the White Sox. Rick Burleson had the game-winning single for Boston.
The Rooster with the game winner.
The third Red Sox pitcher of the day. Nice job by Matt Barnes, who logged 3 1/3 innings of relief. And now into the game, Craig Breslow, 16th appearance, 3.72 earned run average, 16 strikeouts to 8 walks, and opponents hitting at .254 against Breslow.
You're right, Don. Barnes did exactly what he's supposed to do in a situation like he was in, and that's keep the Twins off the board, give the Red Sox a chance.
His line 3 1/3, 5 hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 5 batters. Twins doing their damage with a run in the first, 6 in the second inning. And it's Joe Mauer who leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mauer with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning, picked up his 26th RBI. Walk in the second, a double in the third inning. Breslow throwing the final 2 innings of Friday night's game against Los Angeles. Going 2 innings, 2 hits, gave up a run. Only 1 appearance during the homestand, and prior to that game on Friday, had not worked since the previous Sunday at Seattle. So not a lot of work lately for Craig Breslow. Pitched more than an inning in 7 of his 15 appearances on the year. Now with good numbers against Breslow. On the ground down the first baseline, a fair ball. Napoli's going to need help as he falls down over to cover his Breslow, and from his knees, Napoli makes the play on Mauer.
A nice play by Napoli. He slipped, he fell from his knees, able to get the job done, but by throwing that ball to Breslow, who was doing his job by covering first base. Well, that's a helpless feeling right there. You get prepared to make a throw, you slip and end up on your knees, but you still make a good throw to first base.
Right foot just gave out on him down there in the slippery, wet grass. One down here in the 6th inning. Trevor Plouffe, the batter, as the sun has popped out again here in Minnesota.
You know, we don't talk about it very often, but Napoli has made quite an adjustment from being a catcher to a first baseman. He really has. I bet he was real happy to put that gear away permanently.
Well, it was painful playing at first base than it is doing catching on an everyday basis.
A lot of work with Brian Butterfield to help him at first base a couple of years ago and continues on to today. He's become very solid over there.
Strike 3 call. Plouffe didn't think so, but he is rung up by C.B. Bucknor. First strikeout for Breslow, 2 down in the inning.
Plouffe shaking his head as he heads back to the dugout. He thought this ball was outside from Breslow, a fastball. Glove held right there by Swihart. Let's see what the Amica pitch zone says. Just a little bit outside, but with 2 strikes. Anything questionable is better to swing.
2 down, 5 in a row, retired by Red Sox pitching, and it brings up Kurt Suzuki, who had a single back in the second inning, a 1-for-3 day. Up the middle as off the glove of Pedroia went into the dive, and it gets into center field. Suzuki with his second hit of the day.
And Pedroia shading him up the middle and does get a good jump on the ball, but can't quite get into the glove. It deflects off the glove in the center field for the base hit.
That is now 14 hits for Minnesota today.
That's a lot.
2 for Plouffe, 2 for Suzuki, 2 for Escobar, 2 for Nunez, 2 for Rosario. Everybody in the starting 9 has at least 1. As Escobar has 2. He singled in the second, singled in the second as well, and then struck out in the fourth. Nunez on deck, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tardy on the fastball that time, 0-2. Slap foul. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Jim Rice break down today's game, and you'll hear from Joe Kelly. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Uba WB Mason. In the dirt, and this one gets away briefly from Swihart. Up to second base, aggressively taken off was Kurt Suzuki.
That's just good aggressive baseball, and you know we talk about it a lot, but 95% of the time you're going to be safe on a ball in the dirt like that. You just take off and go, because it's very few times the catcher is going to catch that ball clean and be able to throw you out. You read the ball in the dirt, take off at second base, especially when you get a lead right now of 5 runs.
Wild pitch charge to Breslow gets Suzuki to second base with 2 down. Line into center field, a base hit. Now Suzuki's going to come around. Here's a throw from center from Betts, and it will be in time. He got him. So Mookie Betts with the outfield assist, able to throw out Kurt Suzuki at the plate. The good tag there by Swihart, and that will end the inning. So the Twins unable to score. Baltimore is outside of his dugout looking to see whether or not he's going to challenge this.
At first I thought he was safe. I didn't think there was a tag. Let's take another look. Here's the throw from Mookie Betts. Now Swihart gets it. He's way out in front of home plate and had to dive back. Is there a tag here? Well, if there was, it just barely got the back of his leg.
So they are not going to challenge here as Paul Molitor goes back to the dugout. Twins coming out of the dugout, and they have decided that he was indeed tagged out. Boy, it was very close. I'm not sure he did.
I didn't see a tag either.
Mike Napoli leads off the inning by fouling a pitch off to the right out of play as he leads it off in the 7th inning. Napoli, Bogaerts, and Nava scheduled to bat here in the inning. Ricky Nolasco in his longest outing of the year, the first 6 so far. Previous long had been 5 2/3 last time out. His 86th pitch. And Napoli will take that inside. Mike's 1 for 2 today, a single in the 2nd. He struck out swinging in the 4th inning, and Nolasco with 5 strikeouts. He's now retired 10 Red Sox in a row as this 7th inning begins. Double-barreled action for the Twins. Ryan Presley and Aaron Thompson up in the pen, a right-hander and a left-hander, as that breaking ball gets in there for a strike. 2-2. Red Sox pen is also busy. Tommy Lane, the left-hander, up. Red Sox have used Matt Barnes and Craig Breslow in relief today of Joe Kelly, who lasted just an inning and 2/3. On the ground to third base, played there by Plouffe, and plenty of time to get Napoli for the first out of the inning. CVS Pharmacy is proud to support the American Lung Association's Lung Force campaign to make lung cancer a public health priority. From May 3rd to the 30th, you can make a donation to support lung cancer research at the register at all CVS Pharmacy locations. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out here in the 7th inning for Xander Bogaerts. Xander 0 for 2. He struck out in the 2nd, grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. Red Sox being out hit in this game, 15-6 now by Minnesota. Ground ball to third, diving is Plouffe. From his knees, the throw is going to be in time. Nice play by Trevor Plouffe.
And that was by design by Plouffe, because he knew he didn't have time to get back up. So from his knees, he decides to one-hop it to first base off the grass. There was no intention of trying to make that throw all the way in the air. He was trying to bounce that ball to first base because he couldn't get up in time to make a throw.
A little help from his defense, but Ricky Nolasco has now retired the last 12 Red Sox in a row. Here's Daniel Nava. Nava 0 for 2. He's fly to center and struck out swinging. Nava lines out to first base. Joe Mauer reels it in on the backhand. And that ends the top of the 7th inning with the Twins on top here 7-2. We'll keep it right here at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota, for the playing of God Bless America on this Memorial Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome 2015 Twins audition winner Zach Williams from Ankeny, Iowa, as he leads us in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Now the Xfinity game summary. Red Sox have a tough day today so far early in this game. Joe Kelly went an inning and 2/3, giving him 8 hits and 7 runs, leading the way offensively. Pedroia with a couple of hits. Ricky Nolasco has been very good. 7 innings, giving up 2 runs. And for Nolasco, he's retired the last 13 batters in a row. And the Twins have banged out 15 hits in this game, along with their 7 runs, and enjoy a 7-2 lead as Minnesota comes to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Red Sox on to their 4th pitcher of the day. Tommy Lane into his 15th game, 0-1 with a 3.00 ERA. 8 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .214. Eduardo Nunez with a couple of hits today, a double and a single. He's also flied out to left, has an RBI. Now hitting at .400. Craig Breslow went an inning, giving up 2 hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. Foul down the right field line, out of play. Tommy Lane last worked on Thursday against Texas, going 2/3 of an inning, walked a batter. 10 appearances in the month of May, 1.35 earned run average, and was able to strike out Eduardo Nunez to begin the bottom of the 7th inning on this Memorial Day. And some Memorial Day facts for you. The first Memorial Day was celebrated on May 5th, 1866 in Waterloo, New York. Originally honored military personnel who died in the Civil War. And the national moment of remembrance we had here today. In there for strike 1 to Rosario. Rosario with 2 hits in the game and an RBI. Both hits are singles. Lane off the mound to grab that and underhand it for the second out of the 7th inning. 1-3 on the putout, 2 down. Stay tuned following WB Mason's Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final, presented by Uno's. TC and Jim Rice will have a recap of Memorial Day across Major League Baseball. There's a grounder by the dive of Sandoval at third base. Aaron Hicks aboard with 2 down here in the 7th inning.
He's had a very nice afternoon. A couple of hits in the game. Guy really been struggling offensively at 220 coming into the game, and made a real fine play early in the ball game in center field.
So 2 down, Hicks at first, and it's back up top for Brian Dozier. 1 for 4, had a double back in the first inning. Came around to score the first Twins run. The Twins going 15-6 in the month of May. The most wins in the American League, 3rd most wins in baseball. Trailing the Giants and Nationals during that time in the month of May. Giants 16-7 going into today's action, while the Nationals 16-5 in May. Giants 15-6. Most wins they've ever had as a team in May. Got to go back to 1990, May 1990. They were 21-7. Runner goes. Pitch is low. No throw from Swihart, and a stolen base for Aaron Hicks.
Have no contest here. Not even a look to first base by Lane, and then the big slow curveball and an easy steal for Hicks.
Down and in, 2-2. Twins have left 8 men on base through the first 6 innings. Strike 3 call. Good pitch from Tommy Lane. His second strikeout concludes the 7th inning. Through 7, 7-2 Minnesota. The strikeout that ended last inning.
Breaking ball this time to Dozier. Third time to Dozier was struck out in a row in this ball game.
Big insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Nick Swihart leading it off here in the top half of the 8th. Single in the 3rd, strikeout in the 5th. 1 for 2 from the number 9 spot in the Red Sox order. Velasco's been very good today. Only 1 inning the Red Sox were able to get to him. The 2 runs they scored in the 3rd inning. RBIs for David Ortiz and for Hanley Ramirez. Ortiz in a ground out, Ramirez on a single to right field. Velasco sure wanted it, but it appeared to be outside. 2-2.
You can see the Twins go into a shift with 2 strikes on Swihart as they pull the third baseman into the second base position.
Fly ball center field. Aaron Hicks out there for the first out of the 8th and the 14th in a row retired by Nolasco. The Red Sox Foundation supports the Dimmick Center, which provides comprehensive holistic health to families in more than 200 zip codes. In treatment for addiction, families head to Dimmick from Weston and Wellesley, as well as Roxbury and Dorchester. We thank H.B. Hood, which helps make the Dimmick Center a beneficiary of the Red Sox Foundation. 1 out in the 8th. As Dustin Pedroia takes the strike. Aaron Thompson in the pen for the Twins. Roscoe works here with 1 out in the 8th. And Pedroia grounds one to shortstop. Escobar. His throw in time. Pedroia get down the line quickly and made it relatively close, but he is out number 2 of the inning.
Well, Nolasco has certainly come as advertised today. A lot of breaking balls in this game today, getting some ground ball outs. Another breaking ball here to Dustin Pedroia. You can see the curve ball, and he tops it to the shortstop.
2 down in the 8th for Mookie Betts. That's singled in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. That's a high fly ball down the left field line, but he's out ahead for a foul ball. Well, tonight on NESN Sports Today, Gary Streisky and Nicky Reyes will have a complete recap of today's Sox game. We'll have a special Memorial Day tribute for our military servicemen and women. That's tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. 1-1. That's to right field. Hunter on the run's not going to get there. It gets by him to the track in the wall, and Mookie Betts into second base with a sliding double. His 2nd hit of the day, and that breaks up a string of 15 in a row retired by Ricky Nolasco.
Mookie's first hit came back in the 1st inning. That was on a curveball. This time he gets a fastball and goes to the inside out swing to hit that line drive past Torrey Hunter in right field. That's going to be the afternoon for Nolasco. He pitched a great ball game here today.
Yes, he did. 7 2/3, his longest outing of the year. And again, just had a string of 15 in a row. Retired the day for the Twins pitcher, leaving with a 5-run lead.
And Joe Kelly off to a very tough start, but Matt Barnes pitched well for the Red Sox today, combining his fastball and his breaking ball. Was able to keep the Twins off the board. Breslow doing a good job also. The bullpen has been very good for the Red Sox this afternoon. The problem is the Barnes left the horse early in this one.
Nolasco finishing with 103 pitches. As Aaron Thompson comes into the game, 23rd appearance, 0-1 with a 3.52 earned run average. 14 strikeouts, 7 walks, and opponents hitting at 229 against Thompson as he deals with David Ortiz. Lefty on lefty here. David 0 for 3, but a ground out back in the 3rd inning, produced his 18th run of the year. First batters that Thompson faces coming into games, just 3 for 20 so far in the year at 150. And a swing and a miss. Fooled Ortiz. 23rd appearance for Thompson. That is the most in the American League among left-handed pitchers. Line to left, Rosario is there and makes the catch that ends the inning. Red Sox lead Betts at second base. It trails 7-2 after 7.5. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare on southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Your local New England Ford dealers. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by the Kia Sorento. Back in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Target Field as we play into the bottom of the 8th inning. A 7-2 Minnesota lead. Heath Hembree into his second game with the Red Sox this year. Corey Hunter leading it off. Red Sox onto their 5th pitcher of the day. We've seen Joe Kelly, who went an inning and 2/3, giving up 7 runs. Matt Barnes did a very good job in 3 1/3, allowing no runs. Breslow an inning, no runs. Lane an inning, no runs. Now Heath Hembree into the game for Boston. Hembree beginning the year with the Paw Sox. 14 relief appearances for Pawtucket, 0-2, 5 saves. And 7 save opportunities for Hembree. And a 1.08 ERA with Pawtucket. Fouled off to the right out of play, full count. Hunter, Maurer, and Plouffe scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ball 4, and Hembree walks the first batter that he faces here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Membership has its privileges. Learn how you can join the most exclusive sports membership in Boston as a Red Sox season ticket holder. Email new season tickets at redsox.com or visit redsox.com/season tickets today for more information. So Torrey Hunter on for the second time today. And brings up Joe Mauer. Bauer slices it foul off to the left out of play. 0-2. A sacrifice fly back in the first inning. Picked up his 26th RBI. Walk in the second, a double in the third, and then he grounded out in the 6th inning. Trevor Plouffe waiting on deck. Only home run today for the Twins as part of this 7-run, 16-hit attack. On the ground towards shortstop, could be 2. Bogarts to second for 1, and on to first for 2. Nicely done by Pedroia coming across the bag there. And a 6-4-3 Twin killing. That's time out for today's T-Mobile game changer performance, and a double for Eduardo Nunez. DH back in his second inning, and a big part of that 6-run second inning for the Minnesota Twins that opened it up and chased Joe Kelly from this game. 2 down here in the 8th. Twins would send 12 men to the plate, score 6 times on 8 hits in that second inning. The line on Kelly today, an inning and 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs. Walked about it, didn't strike anybody out, and on the hook right now. Came in individually at 1-3. Two relievers up now. Boyer and Stauffer up now for the Twins. On the ground, left side, it's Pablo Sandoval. A couple of steps in, a throw to first to get Plouffe. Red Sox are coming up in the 9th, trailing 7-2. Toyota play of the game, and Trevor Plouffe will get a home run, a big 3-run shot back in the second inning. His 7th home run of the year. RBIs 23, 24, and 25 for Trevor Plouffe. All part of a 6-run second for the Twins off Joe Kelly. And Boyer into the game now for Minnesota. His 22nd appearance, 1-1 with a 2.45 ERA. 9 Ks to 5 walks, and opponents sitting at .259 against Boyer. Hanley Ramirez leading it off for Boston here in the 9th inning. And he'll take strike 1. Ricky Nolasco, the starter today for Minnesota. Gives up 2 runs, 7 hits, goes 7 2/3. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 5. Chance for his 5th win with only 1 loss. There's twists out of the box, down 0-2. On the ground, right side. Dozier to his left. And Hanley Ramirez out number 1 of the 9th inning. Tomorrow at 7:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Jim Rice will have a special instructional with Xander Bogaerts on how to hit properly off a tee. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Well, I hated hitting off a tee. I couldn't do it. It's like a golf game. You know, the ball was just still and
right.
I couldn't hit it.
There's Pablo Sandoval, 0 for 3 today. Pablo's return to the Red Sox starting lineup today. Batting here with 1 out, nobody on in the 9th. Sprays it foul to the left, and it's 1-2 now to Sandoval.
As the score holds up, Don, this is very frustrating for the Red Sox because you're coming off 2 very good games, and yesterday maybe the best game they played all season. And you're starting a road trip, you're trying to get off to a good start, and you're out of the game basically after 2 innings.
Crank foul to the screen, still 1-2.
Can't seem to get that consistency going where you go into a stretch of playing a week and a half, 2 weeks of very good baseball where you could make a move.
Popped up, foul ground. That'll get back and out of play. Two and two. Paul Molitor's team has played well in May. They put together that stretch you're talking about. Swing and a miss. Sandoval strikes out at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 down in the 9th.
And talking about those stretches, you know, if you put a stretch together like that in the American League East, you probably lead by 5 or 6 games.
Mm-hmm. Napoli 1 for 3 in the game. Singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, grounded out in the 7th. Now tonight it's the season finale of NESN Next Producer. 4 teams remain in the hunt, but only one will earn the grand prize of $20,000. Find out who is crowned NESN Next Producer tonight at 6.
So yeah, that's a competition to win. It's big, big money. Producers make huge dough.
And their first strike, 1-1. On the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes to Mike Napoli. 2 down in the 9th inning. just missed. 2-2. Napoli singled back in the second inning. And a 1-for-3 day. Close pitch, called a ball, full count. Napoli, it's a soft liner that is going to get into right field for a base hit. His second hit. And the Red Sox stay alive here in the ninth with 2 down. Xander Bogaerts a chance here in the ninth inning. Xander 0 for 3, striking out in the second, grounding out in the fourth inning, and grounding out in the seventh.
Bogaerts needs a hit right here to keep a 7-game hitting streak alive to 8 games.
Ball to strike down to Xander. Red Sox fans with the rally caps going here in Minnesota. With 2 outs in the ninth, trailing by 5 runs. Popped up right side of the infield, and Dozier now to be Mauer, and Mauer puts it away. Well, the Twins able to take game 1 of this series against the Red Sox, certainly deflating for the Red Sox after 2 very good wins at home. As the Twins score early and often, a run in the first, 6 in the second. Joe Kelly takes a loss in this game as he lasts just an inning and 2/3. The Minnesota Twins beat the Red Sox 7-2 in game 1 of this series. We now send it to Tom Caron.